people get easily triggered these days. You got a lot of sensitive Sallys out there. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of people out there that, look, they want to make money, but they want to be a part of something that's a positive environment. They want to feel like they can contribute. They don't want to feel pressured. They don't want to feel overwhelmed. And the truth is, overwhelmed really, in my opinion, is a choice. And I always say it's better to be overwhelmed than underwhelmed. But be very careful when you're getting started or when you're enrolling someone that's getting started. First of all, if you're a leader, never forget what it's like to be new. Never forget how you got started and why you got started, because most people don't start off wanting to make a lot of money. They really don't. They start off wanting to make extra money. They have very little belief, very little confidence, very little clarity, right? They're totally overwhelmed. But again, that's also a choice, right? I have these conversations quite often where leaders are trying to perfect their system, and they're constantly tinkering and tweaking and updating and enhancing things, and they end up overcomplicating something that is very simple. But your ego ain't your amigo. Write that down. Your ego ain't your amigo. You have to remember what it's like to be new. You have to remember that most people getting started, they're going to choose to do this, but they're going to choose to be overwhelmed, because they think they got to go through all the training, and they need to understand the comp plan and the products, and they need to know all the things all the time. And, they start promoting or posting or prospecting, right? All the P's, right? They're promoting, prospecting, posting, and they're starting to get questions, and people are asking them things that they don't know the answers to. And they feel like, I don't know if I can do this because I don't know what I'm doing. I just had a brand new person, and she said, I'm not really getting great results. She's been in for 1 week. So I know that this is normal. And remember, I have to, even after 22 years, remember what it's like to be new. And I have to put myself in her situation, because she's very excited. She's having conversations. Nobody's bought the product yet. Nobody's joined the team. But it's been a week, 1 week. Isn't that funny? But this is normal. How many of us remember what it's like to be new? Remember what you thought when you first got started. I remember I was like, man, everybody's going to want to do this. Everybody's going to want to get rich and earn residual income. Now, this was 2001, but I remember thinking this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. People are going to be so grateful that I'm bringing this to them. They're going to be blown away like I am. And then, of course, I go home and tell my friends and family. They're like, that's a scam. That's a pyramid. Don't waste your money. Don't waste your time. What are you thinking? But I used to think having a job was stupid. I never wanted to go to school, pay money, and I could barely pay attention, let alone did I have any money to pay for college. So I went to community college. I only went because I didn't know what else to do. So when I saw network marketing, I'm like, this is it. I can drop out of community college. I can get rich, because they didn't have any classes in school called Get Rich 101. Become a Millionaire 101, be an entrepreneur. Couldn't even spell entrepreneur back then. Still, I have trouble with it, right? Also, ego stands for edging God out. So be very careful, because when you start to build a team, you start to build up a little momentum, you start to build up a foundation. Sometimes we're going to have people on our team where we clash with their personality because they're more analytical than you are. They have a lot more questions, and that's not my personality. But I tell you what, I don't make people feel dumb for asking me a question. I don't say, well, why don't you look on the Buzz page? Why don't you look it up on the website? Why don't you check the boards app? No, because ignorant. Because again, I remember what it was like to be new. And it's the worst when a team member feels intimidated. They feel bad asking you a question because they're going to get yelled at, or you're going to respond to them with you make them feel dumb for even asking. And that is the worst thing you can do. I want you to imagine that every single person on your team was going to make you $100,000 a year. How would you treat those people? Would you be respectful or disrespectful? Would you be irritated or grateful when they have a question? At least they're freaking asking questions. That means they're actually working. Oh my God. How many of us just man, can I just find a human like me? How many people are on your team right now? Because imagine if you treated every one of those people like they were going to make you $100,000 a year, because that's your partner. That's $8,000 a month that you can make from that one person. How would you speak to them differently? And by the way, those of you that are new-ish and you're not a leader yet, write that word down, yet. I'm not good at social media yet. I don't understand the system and all the products or the comp plan yet. I don't have people reaching out to me about my products or opportunity yet. People keep ghosting me. I'm not having a great conversion when I'm talking to people yet. You can get better. Don't be bitter, get better. Don't be frustrated, get fascinated. Say, what are the top people doing? How are they showing up on social media? How did they get started? Don't be afraid to reach out to people and ask them for advice, for suggestions. You're never bothering your upline. And by the way, if your upline is bothered by you, time to find a new upline. That doesn't mean you got to leave your company. Just find someone else in the upline that you can work with that understands the value in every single person on the team. Yes, sometimes I do get irritated when someone sends me a 4-minute audio clip and really they just needed to send 30 seconds because I'm busy. But guess what? They don't care that I'm busy. They don't care that I have thousands of people. If I acted like that with someone, like, do you know how busy and important I am? Do you know how big my team is? That person's not going to be on my team for very long. I'm not their boss. I'm their mentor. I'm their upline. I'm there to help them. You know, honestly, you make your upline money, but really your upline makes you money. Because you can put them in chats. You can introduce them to your prospects. They can give you guidance, mentorship. They can make suggestions. So if you're brand new, you also should tame your ego. Like, oh, I know what to do. No, you don't. If you knew what to do, you'd be doing it. Oh, I already know all of that. I don't need to get on these training calls. I don't need to get on the Saturday calls. I don't need to listen to those because I already know what they're going to say. Really? Then how come you're not getting the results the people on the Saturday call are getting? My team isn't motivated. Go build a new team. My team isn't coachable. Are you coachable? Would you follow you? Would you join you? That's an honest question. Would you listen to you? Would you follow you? I'm telling you, the ego is the kiss of death in this profession. If you want to make less money and you want to totally ruin your business, just let your ego flare up. Stop overwhelming your people. Stop expecting people to have the same commitment level you do. Let me ask you this. How long did it take you to be fully committed, to be all in? It took me years. It's like, what weighs more, your ego or your bank account? And for a lot of people, they're embarrassed to start small. They're embarrassed to relaunch their business. Their ego, they're too proud to prospect people or reach out to people. They just want to post and pray. Listen, it's amazing how we want to attract ambitious, independent, entrepreneurial-minded, CEO-mentalityed people. And then we want to try to put them in a box and control what they post, what they do. We want to micromanage them instead of leading them, leading by example. Look, you want your team to be motivated? Go build some new teams. You want your team to step up? You step up. You want your team to do videos? You do videos. You want your team to build a customer base? You go build a customer base. Go out recruit. I have out recruited my team the last 8 years. I have out-recruited my entire team the last 8 years. And that's not me trying to be braggadocious. That's not me trying to, look at me. I'm just leading by example. Instead of telling them what to do, I'm literally doing it. Because leaders that lead other leaders realize that you're going to have different personalities. I do my best job. I got a really big team, and I do my best job to communicate with as many people as possible, whether they're brand new or they've been around for 5 years, but they haven't produced much. I never want someone to feel like they don't matter. I respond to every message. You can't possibly, no matter how good you are and how much you work and how responsive you are, you can't possibly have a relationship with everybody. But the reason I have such insane retention, even when people quit, their teams don't always go with them. Right? Their customers don't go with because they feel that inclusion, that community. They have sideline relationships. They have sideline sisters and brothers that they love more than just their immediate upline and sponsor. Does that make some sense? And if you can create that on your team, you create that unity, that synergy where people just feel like they can be a part of something, even if they're not like the 1%er, the 5%er, the 10%er that wants to make full-time income. They want to make a 6-figure income, or they want to make silly money. So let me break that down real quick. You got the 80%ers that just want to make extra money. Then you're going to have about 10% that want to make a full-time income. Then you're going to have about 4% that want to make a 6-figure income. Then you're going to have 1% that want to make insane, silly. It's probably less than 1% that are actually they have the desire and the willingness to put forth that level of commitment, dedication, discipline. Those people are hard to come by. There's no business in the world where everybody wins, but you got to remember, not everybody wants to win big. Some people just want to be a part of the community. Some people just want to be a part of the environment, the culture. And again, this is the kiss of death. If you want to ruin a perfectly good business, throw all the expectations on your team, throw all the expectations on your prospects, expect everybody to join. Good luck with that. Expect everybody to just be coachable. Good luck with that. Expect your upline to have integrity. Good luck with that. Some people are going to be there for a season. Some people are going to be there for a few chapters. They're not going to be in the whole book. You understand? You have to be okay with that.